is, what it do? It's your boy Grizz of GNGU, welcoming you to another episode of Yesterday Today. And while I am really happy to always bring you the news, but today I'm going to be the bearer of some bad news. We're going to look into another big game that got delayed, and Xbox Game Pass possibly being on Switch and PS4. More on that. So let's start off today. Let's get into these appetizers. Alright, lads and ladettes, so Netflix has done it again. It has taken another video game IP and decided to make it a show. So they tweeted out today that, well, Netflix plus Assassin's Creed, it's now going to be a show. And there, of course, they got this little video intro. And while I'm excited, I was just wondering, I still haven't seen the Assassin's Creed movie. Some people said it was okay. Some people said it was good. But me, I'm on the fence, but Dragon's Dogma, the anime, was pretty decent. It wasn't a bad anime. I can't wait to see the Resident Evil series, but now, and also a Cyberpunk series, which is going to be awesome, Witcher Season 2. Netflix is doing their thing with these gaming IPs, so I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the Assassin's Creed. It could actually make for a pretty interesting show, so more on that eventually when we get around to it. So yesterday we spoke about some Halo Infinite news, and today, well, we're going to talk about the fact that a fan tweeted out at John Juniziek, who's the community manager for Halo, and he basically responded to the fan. The fan said, his name is Craig Hesh, by the way, "I just want to know why we haven't seen more on a game that was set to release 14 days from now. You guys said you wouldn't turtle up, but you have. Respectfully, it's a legitimate question." John Juniziek replied, "Hey Craig, wouldn't disagree on the turtling comment. I would disagree on the turtling comment. We just explained what coatings are, showing of 2 new renders, and followed up with clarifications here on Twitter. Yes, this may be different news than you might have hoped for, but it certainly isn't turtling." Now, what he's basically saying is, we're not putting our heads in our shells and retreating. What we're doing is we're going on a completely different approach, and we're using this time to work out. Now, maybe if it wasn't for the pandemic, the game would have been done, and we would be playing Halo Infinite in the next 2 weeks. Cool, but that's not the case, and we live in this sad 2020 world, which I'm going to say that this is basically the tone for the rest of this video. Sorry to disappoint you, but this is just what it is, and sometimes we gotta let developers do their thing. If you legit want to ask questions, absolutely, but as long as you remain respectful like Craig here, I think we can be, it'll be pretty good to get along with the developers. So it appears 2020 is going to continue to 2020, seriously. So now it's rumor going around, but it has been confirmed that at least in Best Buy Canada, that there isn't going to be any PS5s in stock in stores. You're literally going to have to buy it online. And now this actually kind of makes sense, because Walmart, around the time where all of the pre-orders started coming around, they were basically saying, look, we don't want any crazy lines. We don't want any people piling up. We're basically going to only sell it online. So this might be the only way to actually get it on to the PS5 or the Xbox Series X before this thing is over. Honestly, personally, I don't think a lot of us, including me, I don't think is getting it on launch date for either system almost. I'm going to do the best I can, but I'm probably not going to be breaking my neck. Most likely won't be breaking my neck, but this is absolutely sad news, and this is an official tweet, Marlon Gaming Nation, and he basically said he got this from a Best Buy employee. And it says, available online only, PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. You may know that the latest consoles are set to release in the coming weeks. We wanted to let you know what the experience will look like for you and your customers. For these consoles launch, we will not be sending any inventory to stores at this time, and customers should go online to purchase if there is inventory available. Yeah, is what it is, right? Is what it is. I mean, once again, 2020 is gonna 2020, and it's very unfortunate. But hey, we got many reasons to be glued to it. We got our smartphones, we got our computers, and the fact that we're working from home, we got laptops and tablets and everything like that. So maybe go ahead and use every device and log on to one of these digital storefronts and try to get a PS5, because that appears to be how real the thirst is for this next generation. Alright, so some good news is that a certain part of the embargo for the PlayStation 5 has been lifted, and well, IGN officially put out some pictures, and online there's even some gameplay has surfaced for Astrobot and other stuff, and then there has been some unboxings. But here's some pictures from IGN compared to other items. So now here we have a PlayStation 5 next to the DualSense controller in a banana. For some reason it's just choosy. This thing is really, really huge. And now, this is a closer look of the DualSense controller. That thing is just, honestly, it's a thing of beauty. Still trying to get used to the whole white thing. And of course, this is another, wow, that's metallic in there. I never really looked at that. And then from the different angles, all of the ports and stuff like that. Awesome, awesome. Now, it looked like, for me, it looked like they went to PlayStation.com and got that, but it could just be a blue lighting. And then you're going to have it, here's the real interesting stuff here. Now you're comparing it to its predecessors, basically. Here is it next to the PS2, and it appears that it's maybe twice the PS2 size, at least it's standing on the side. Then the PS3 is a bit more fatter, which is probably closer to the weight, honestly. And then, of course, the PS4 is probably close to the weight, but not really. I think this one is the PS5 is 10 pounds, and the PS4 was probably about 6, 7, I want to say. And then, of course, is the back of the PS4. And then it's compared to the OG Xbox, the VCR. That thing is brolic. It was huge. This is bigger than that, and that's wild. Then here it is compared to the 360. Then the Xbox One, and then worse, the Xbox One X, which is even smaller than the One. So that was really, really interesting. And look, this is what we get to see. I'm really still getting very excited because just seeing being able to get the PlayStation 5, and given the fact that it's only going to be on online retailers, I'm actually still very concerned. Like, this isn't like in the beginning of COVID when games were coming out and we couldn't go to stores to get them. Well, you can't buy a system digitally, right? So I'm really concerned. I really hope that there's going to be a lot made available sometime soon, and go to GameStop. Well, it's not going to be in GameStop. We don't know yet as of yet. They didn't say that it's not going to be in GameStop, but they did say Best Buy, and I do believe Walmart has confirmed it. So I'm really, really curious as to what it is, and I can't wait to see more gameplay, more pictures, and obviously to have this thing in my hands in the next few weeks. As a lot of its apologies in advance, so here comes the disappointing news. We're going to talk about that big delay that happened yesterday. And yes, it's exactly what you think it is. Cyberpunk 2077 is getting delayed again. Yesterday on the Twitter account, they released an official statement, and it reads, "Hey everyone, today we've decided to move the release date of Cyberpunk 2077 by 21 days. The new release date is December 10th. Most likely there are many emotions and questions in your heads, so first and foremost, please accept our humble apologies. The biggest challenge for us right now is shipping the game on current gen, next gen, and PC at the same time, which requires us to prepare and test 9 versions of it. Xbox One, X compatibility, Xbox Series S, X, PS4, PS4 Pro, compatibility with PS5, PC, and Stadia." Yeah, that's a fair point. While working from home. Since Cyberpunk 2077 evolved towards almost being a next-gen title somewhere along the way, we need to make sure everything works well and every version runs smoothly. We're aware it might seem unrealistic when someone says that 21 days can make any difference in such a massive and complex game, but they really do. Some of you might also be wondering what these words mean in light of us saying we achieved Gold Master some time ago. Passing certification or going gold means the game is ready, can be completed, and has all content in it. But it doesn't matter, we stopped working on it and raising the quality bar. On the contrary, this is the time where many improvements improvements are being made, which will then be distributed via a day 0 patch. This is the time period we undercalculated. We feel we have an amazing game on our hands and are willing to make every decision, even the hardest ones, if it ultimately leads to you getting a video game you fall in love with. Okay, now while that seems to be, alright, whatever, it seems to be, it's just accepting. It's 2020, and I fully accepted it. We were so close, but still, we are still very close. Cyberpunk is 2 months at this point, a month and a half away fine. I'm actually pretty excited because it moved away some of those other games that I wanted to play. In fact, just really one game in specific, Spider-Man Miles Morales. While they say the game campaign is only 8 hours, I really want to dig in and probably get some collectibles, probably do a new game plus. We know it's going to be a new game plus and really dig in. It's not going to take me 8 hours to finish it. It's going to take me 15 to 20 hours to finish it, and probably because I play games very slow. That actually comes out on the release date of the PS5, and it's going to be on the PS4, of course, but Cyberpunk, well, I'll just have to buy it on my PS5 if I get the PS5 before the Series X. So, honestly, it's all good with that, and it's fine. They need to, and then they tested it across 9 systems. That actually makes sense, right? Because remember back in the day when developments, it used to cost extra money because they used to make different versions for, like, the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. Well, it's the same version, but the infrastructure of every system is very different, especially with PC. There have been games that have gone for both console and PC, or from console and then PC, and then there's been a slew of issues. So I think we really could be understanding this definitely makes sense. And the fact that they're still working from home and they finished the game, but they're trying to work on patching stuff up, maybe throwing some extra stuff in there, yeah, I think we should give them a chance. But then this happened, right? So a tweet actually went out by a person named Paul Lennon. And Paul said, I wonder how many developers do you... Well, first of all, it was Jason Schreier. He said, look, a CDPR dev told me recently that they just clocked a 100-hour week. Another former dev just told me they saw some of their friends there and they looked physically ill. Man, so kindly get the F out of here with the but I work long hours too responses. And then Paul Lennon replied and he said, how many developers do you think just found out today over Twitter? They literally said yesterday there would be no delays. Just like the Reddit post said, seems like developers don't know what decisions are being made. And then Jason Schreier replied, all of them found out the same time we did. CD Projekt Red sent an internal email simultaneously with the public tweet. Honestly, I'll be real with you. That actually sounds type whack, and it definitely doesn't sound healthy, but we don't really know exactly what's going on. Jason Schreier, he has a confirmation from 2 different people, but yeah, it's kind of hard to defend Crunch. Crunch absolutely sucks. People working too hard, people aren't seeing their families, people can't use their vacations. And then, of course, when you're working so hard and you're sleep deprived, yeah, you're going to look a little ill. So I'm definitely always going to be on the side of the developers, but it's still very, very sad to see this. All I'm saying is this. When this game comes out, I'm hoping that it is a magnanimous experience, and all of this work that these developers are putting in on this game, they are very proud of it. Like when Cory Barlog, when God of War 2018 came out, and Cory Barlog came up and started seeing reviews and fans' comments, and he started crying on camera because he was proud of the work that he put in this game, and people are loving it. I'm really hoping that we get the same type of response from CD Projekt Red and the developers on Cyberpunk 2077. This game looks like it's going to probably be Game of the Year. Despite that all 2020 is offered, we still got a slew of amazing games. But this game is one of the bigger games because it's constantly delayed. The game got delayed 3 times this year alone, and it's very sad. But I would like people to just be okay, be happy, and hopefully they finish everything, they put their last little bit of love in it, and the game is nothing shorter than a 10. I won't accept anything under 9 though. I'll just be real about that. So hopefully crunch time can tone down a little bit and these people can take vacations and they can rest up, spend time with their families, and get their health in order, because it's really, really important right now. So Phil Spencer was recently in an interview and he definitely said that he's open to Game Pass going over to Switch and PS4. While it's not very realistic to go with their direct competitors because they really just want to focus on the reach, they seem to be focused on making sure Game Pass and xCloud is definitely on iOS devices. But could you imagine there was a world where Game Pass is on Switch and PS4? Where your service is just, Xbox's service is just so demanding that it is on rival consoles. It has also been said, like in the early goings, people was like, yo, can it be on Nintendo Switch? And then he basically said you also would have to have, like integration system, and everybody's going to have to log into a Microsoft account. And honestly, the way Sony has shown us that they roll, They ain't with that. Nintendo, they've been more friendly to it, but I guess Sony is just like, yo, they the top dog, and they ain't gotta bend to your will. I guess they feel what they feel, but Phil Spencer has just always been open and like the cool uncle kind of character. So, you know, Uncle Phil. So basically, it would be really interesting to hear more about this. I still want to hear more about that streaming stick and the possibility if it's going to go in tiers. That is really what I'm interested in. So also in an interview, Uncle Phil Spencer, he definitely confirmed that all their first party games will also be on PC and all other platforms, their store and on Steam. And here's a direct quote in his interview from Game Reactor. He says, "There is an expectation from customers like there is now on PC where people don't really question. There might be some timing things on when certain things happen, but if we're shipping a first party game, it's coming to PC. If we are shipping a first party game on PC, it's coming to Steam and our own store. Like, we built an expectation for our customers." Hey, listen, I recently got into PC gaming, and I would love Halo 5. Master Chief Collection is on the Game Pass for PC, and mind you, that part is still in beta, but I would like to see more of these games coming to Game Pass and PC. It's actually been a very fun experience, in the fact that whatever was the last thing you played on your Xbox, the last point, imagine just playing it on your PC, and it just picks up straight from there. But now, once they grow the library, it's going to be a lot of hard to say, like, why are you even messing with Xbox? Let's not just talk about buying the Xbox console. Let's talk about buying the brand itself. Buying into the brand itself, and that's just really what they're doing this generation. Alright, lads and ladders, let's finish up with some great news, but also some bad news. So, on the GameIndustry.biz, they said, hey, the first 12 hours of the PS5 pre-orders, it matches the first 12 weeks of the PS4s. I want y'all to just take a second and realize how huge of a thing that is. It looks like the PS5 is going to be a repeat of the Nintendo Switch all over. Nintendo Switch came out in March. People still wasn't getting the Nintendo Switch all the way down in May, June, July. And just imagine the possibility of this during the pandemic. And they're not shipping everything. And then everybody got to be online with 7 million devices trying to get a PS5 just from one digital storefront. That is going to be insane. And what it's selling, wow, man. Wow. And it's just, and then it also just wasn't fair because they just gave everybody pre-orders and they didn't even say, like, yo, what happened? PS5, they just weren't with it yet, and retailers, they just went right ahead and just leaked it right after the conference and everything, and it was cool. It was, listen, I would just love a PS5 on launch. November 12th is fastly approaching. I would like a PS5. But if I can't get it, I gotta wait, and because it is a pandemic, and because it is 2020, I'm ready to wait. I am prepared to wait. It is what it is. That's it for today, lads and ladders. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and put on those notification bells so you know when your boy is posting. Go ahead and like this video if you haven't already. If not, hit the dislike. It's all good. And please don't forget to share this on all forms of social media and follow me on all forms of social media so you can keep up on the latest and greatest that your boy the Grizz has for you. Lads and ladders, this video is finito.